Good afternoon. It's Thursday, May the 8th. But you know, that can change by the minute. Well, didn't take long. We got it, a Pope. Like I give a shit. We did get a Pope. It didn't take too long, did it? What was it, 2 days? Not very long. It's American Pope. Ooh. I wonder if that's the American Pope was a long shot, and I wonder if they were in there like, "Hey, man, you thinking he'll listen to you? If you're an American, like, maybe you can talk to Trump." And of course, he's a progressive. What's up, Julie? He's a progressive, so Mega's mad, you know. And then Laura Loomer was immediately on there. Oh, we're gonna Marxist Pope, another Marxist Pope. What do these Mega people think that they're gonna install a church leader who's like them, who's a racist piece of shit, who wants to, thinks that migrants should be stuffed into prisons all over the world? I mean, it's a fucking church, man. They can't, right, regardless of what you think about the Catholic Church, like, they can't really install a racist, xenophobic fucking bigot who wants to lock everyone up in prisons and maintain their churchy credibility. You know, they already got a kid fucking problem. They can't start compounding it with it's also racist and I don't know, man. There's weather here, so it might be choppy again. I don't know. I'm looking at the thing at the bottom. It's not too. It ain't looking too good. Yes, the Pope is woke. It's like you didn't read the Bible. It's pretty woke. It's pretty woke. I guess they want everybody to be like them, you know, hateful and fucking shitty, you know. And if you're not like that, you got derangement syndrome. It's like, no, I still like fucking racists and bigots, you know. Sorry. You know. See, that's the thing, is they don't like being called out on it. It's like, hey, I've been saying it for years. Like, why don't you just admit it, man? Why don't you just, it's like, hey, I've been saying it for years. Like, why don't you just admit it, man? Why don't you just, I'd respect you more if you were like, they say, well, these illegals to get what they deserve, and then you go, you're a racist. No, I'm not. Well, then what are you? Americans for white people. Like, it's like, sounds pretty racist to me. The racism's coming out strong here because of that case I was telling you about the cop shooting the black kid, and then the dad ran over a cop with his car, and now all the racism is out in full swing. But that's why I left here. That's why I don't live here. I didn't live here for years and years and years. Why? Because they're racist. It's like, I don't want to live around these racist pieces of shit. Period. That's it. The system itself is racist here. And all these ignorant fucks online talking shit. And you can't even talk to them. They're so fucking ignorant. These people don't understand anything. Yesterday they were bitching because the Fed chairman didn't cut the rates like Trump wanted. So these people are online, bitching and complaining. And you're like, just reading their comments, you're like, well, you obviously don't understand how the Federal Reserve works. Right, with the Federal Reserve, this is a problem. For all to get rid of the Fed. Like, there's a reason why there's a Federal Reserve. Okay? because you can't have monetary decisions being made by politicians for momentary political gain, because that's the way to destroy your fucking economy. You already see what a guy can do to the economy who doesn't even control the fucking interest rates. You know. And today's it's all gonna have a deal with the big country. It turned out to be the United Kingdom, which I don't know if you know this, which is they're like 3% of our trade. It's not a lot of trading we do with England. We maybe get from them like shit. We don't even get Guinness from them. We don't hardly even get English beer. Newcastle maybe is what's an English beer? I don't know, but what else do we get from England? Not too much. He's like, this is a big deal. And then it wasn't even a deal. Again, it's like a concept of a deal. It's not really a deal, you know. It's an agreement or a loose agreement. There's like the whole thing is it's unbelievable. Yes. Julie said, the Pope is woke. Woe is us. Yes, exactly. Woe is the Pope's not a bigot like us. It's like, all right, so here's the thing I just read just now before I turn this on. I don't know if you know this, but the guy that they're running for the U.S. attorney in Washington, the guy that's been the temporary attorney, the guy that said he's Trump's personal attorney. Like, he's supposed to be the U.S. attorney, but he's Trump's attorney, apparently. And he's got some questionable past. He got a Nazi friends, and he's been on Russian TV about 1,000 times. So a couple of Republicans got a spine and said, no, we're not voting for this guy. He can't be the district attorney in Washington, D.C., right? They finally stood up to him. So I just read, he said, so who's he going to stick in there? Judge Janine Peer from Fox News. Shocker. Shocker. Another drunk from Fox News. We are so fucked. How did we get here? We elected a reality show. That's what we did. And that's what we're getting. A reality show. Every day. It's a train wreck of epic proportion every single day. And every single day you go, there's no way Trump can say something dumber than you said yourself. Politics in America is shot. Let's say it's so beyond. It's not even politics anymore. It's just people yelling at each other. Half of them don't even support like the Constitution and your rights, and people are okay with this. This is where the two-party system, that's it. This is where the two-party system fails you. Because they say, there's only two ways to look at things. This way or this way, right? And because of that, they just get more and more extreme on either side. And now it's like, oh, well, these guys are Nazis. And these guys are, I'm not sure what they are. You know, the left is still like a collection of various views. You know, there's center people, there's moderate leftists, and then there's full on, communist leftists, Marxists they call them, whatever. But I don't really think, like I said, that's what they call them, but they're not really that. There's nobody going, we're here to take over the means of production, and and like no, people want healthcare and normal shit that people want, and it's not communist to say you want universal health care because they have it in many democratic countries in Europe and they have it in Canada. Many countries have been able to do it without turning into Stalinist Russia, but that's the thing is, in America, anything that's not full-blown capitalism is communism to them. That's what they think. It's like, oh, you want you want heating bill assistance? You're a communist. You want universal health care? You're a communist. Costello says there's good chocolate from England and jungle gyms. Yeah, probably. But I'm saying is that's not much trade. It's not like we do massive amounts of trade with England and shit that is really important that we really need. It's a photo op today. It's what it is. They don't have no deal. They did it to try to calm the market, and they did it again. The stock market's like, yeah, it'll go up. It goes up. Hey, Trump's got a deal. He doesn't really have a deal. It's not a deal. It's a concept of a deal. And he's like, well, we'll sign it. We'll really sign it in a few weeks. We'll work this out. It's like, that means you don't have a deal. You call it a press conference to be like, we're talking about having a deal. It's not a deal. Again, everything this guy does is complete bullshit. He lies about everything. And in the end, the stock market people are like, well, we got some movement here. Let's put some money in. And then tomorrow they'll realize, oh, it's not really moving, is it? Put the money back out. It's like, we're in a limbo. It's like swinging around back and forth. And none of these businesses know what to do because you don't know what he's going to do tomorrow. Yeah, Julie says, how about Kash Patel claiming the plain language in the Constitution about due process for all doesn't mean due process for all? Yeah, exactly. Even though Antonin Scalia said, yes, if you're on U.S. soil, the Constitution applies to you. You are protected by the rights instilled in the Constitution just simply by being in the United States because the system of the United States works under the Constitution. You can't just say, okay, well, we're free and we have rights under the Constitution, but these people, you can do whatever you want. No, that's not how it works. It's like if you're here, the police, the courts, the government itself has to operate within the Constitution. They don't want to do that. That's the point. They won't just come out and say it. If it was up to them, they'd set the Constitution on fire. They don't give a fuck about it. That's why Trump doesn't have the Constitution hanging in the Oval Office. He's got the Declaration of Independence, because he doesn't really believe in the Constitution. First of all, I don't think he understands it. None of them understand it. Pam Bondi today was like, they had some big thing, and then she's like, we seized a bunch of meth, and this meth is very dangerous, and it goes into some drugs and other drugs and Molly, do they call it? It's like, these people don't even know what they're talking about. They're supposed to be fighting crime and they don't even understand what it is. They don't know. They're fucking stupid. This is by far the most collectively stupid group of people I've ever seen in the government. Ever. And we've had some dumb motherfuckers. I mean, like I said, George Bush was kind of dumb. But like I said, he wasn't this dumb. He understood the Constitution and the law, and even when they were breaking it, he knew what he was doing. Like, sometimes I think, Trump's breaking the law, and he goes, oh, he's breaking the law on purpose. Like, I don't even know if he understands the concepts of the law enough to realize that what he's doing, he just wants to be able to do whatever he wants. He thinks that being president makes him like a king, and then he can just do whatever he wants, decree whatever he wants, and then we all have to do it. It's like, we got all this stuff going on, right? Like the economy's fucked up. The planes are fucked up. Here's the thing: they're all on all over the news trying to blame Pete Buttigieg for all this problems with the fucking thing. Like, oh, you don't think that the Doge coming in and cutting the traffic controllers and cutting out all the technicians? Why do you think that these systems are failing? Because they slashed all the technicians that worked on them, and now there's no way to fix it. And so shit started falling apart. It's like, well, why is it falling apart? Well, there's no one to maintain it or fix it because Elon Musk fired everybody. Well, that has nothing to do with it. Really? That has nothing to do with it? Really? No, it's Pete Buttigieg. Like, most of Trumpism is blame other people for your fucking fuck-ups and problems. And you go, oh, it's them. They fucked it up. You know, it's like, well, why was it working fine until you took over? Now, it wasn't working perfectly fine because there's a thing that says they had some kind of issue in August, last August, which Trump wasn't president then. It wasn't like it is now. It wasn't like every other week. Oh, a helicopter smashed into a plane. And just a couple of days ago, oh, a helicopter veered off of its flight path and almost hit another plane. And then the planes had to reroute and change, you know. And what happened? Some big wig was flying into the Pentagon. You know, drunk Pete Hegseth told him, come on in. Send that guy a chopper. It's like, it's unbelievable. And then they're like, it's Pete Buttigieg's fault. Is it? Yes, Julian, yes, it's correct. He's never been held truly accountable for anything he's done. He's always found a way to weasel out of consequences. Yes, like all the fucking crimes he did and didn't have to go to fucking prison for. Because, again, they find a way to weasel out of it. And then he runs for president. Hey, you can't put me in jail. I'm running for president. It's the very fact that the guy could run for president with all this shit on him tells you that we're fucked. You know, we're so fucked. And this crypto thing, don't even look into that. Your head will explode. He's basically got a slush fund that anybody can throw money in there, and now he's holding a dinner for all the top contributors to his crypto fund. You know, and reporters not allowed at the dinner, but right? And who are all these people that contributed to his meme coin or whatever? Like, first of all, what the fuck is a meme coin? It's like this whole thing is the biggest scam I've ever seen. It's like, what is it? You go to the store and be like, yeah, I'm gonna pay for this meme coin. It's like, what is this money? It's money, but it's like, it's just made up money. It's like invented. It's like, well, we got these servers that shit out these things every now and then, and if you buy one of them, it's not even a physical thing. I'd have to really do some research to figure out, like, what it is. And all I know is it costs shitloads of energy to make a Bitcoin or a meme coin or whatever, right? And they just keep making more of them. This is why the human race is destined to fail. Because it's just like the baby thing, right? Every system on the earth is stressing hard because there's too many fucking people on the planet for the planet to support them, right? And so everything is fucking up, and all these immigrants are moving around trying to find a place to fucking live. And everybody's like, oh, these immigrants, oh, what's going on? It's like, because there's too many fucking people. But what are they doing? They're going, you need to have more babies. Elon Musk's like, if you don't have more babies, civilization's going to collapse. The civilization's already collapsing, bro. Look at it. Look around you. Everything's full. The seams are bursting all over the world. And they're saying, oh, you gotta have more babies. You gotta take care of these fucking people. No. More babies means more migrants trying to find a place to fucking live, which is already a problem for you. Like, And you're like, we have more. No, that's what I mean. Is it's code language for. Then you have more white babies because they feel like they're losing control of the world, which they should. Don't you think? We've been in charge for quite a while. Right? Really, we kind of been in charge since the beginning. White people. You know, I'm going to speak for white people for a second because I am one of them. And we've been in charge pretty much since the beginning. And look at this place. Did we do a good job? No. No, we did not do a good job. Yes, Christelle. What's going on, ho-ho? I still haven't figured out who you are, who you really are. But I'm just saying, it's like, it's true. If you deny it, it's like, dude, the world is falling apart, okay? And I said, we've been in charge of it all this time. Did we fix all the problems? Fuck no. Any problem that we did fix, we were forced to fix, but because people rose up and said, you got to fucking change, slavery and civil rights and all this shit. It's like, the people were like, you fuck this. We ain't living like this anymore. You got to change it. All right. Well, begrudgingly. All right. Well, all right. All right. You can be free, It's like, how free? Well, not completely free, but you don't have to work for free anymore. How's that? Like, but you gotta live over here with only your people, and you gotta only eat in these restaurants and only can use these bathrooms, and you gotta sit on the back of the bus, and you gotta, keep your head down when a white person walks by, It's like, we have not done a good job running the world. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you, Questel's friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for, and thank you, Questella, for talk to me, or for talking someone into joining joining the little crowd we got. Yeah, like we have not done a good job, and don't you think it's time to, I mean, we let a black guy be president once, and what happened? We didn't get free healthcare, but we got better healthcare. It's almost like other people are have more humanity in them. They're not interested in world domination. I mean, that's not true. That there has been. Well, wait a minute. Has there? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, has there been a person that was seeking world domination who wasn't white? I mean, look at Hitler. He's pretty white, Like, remember, like a black guy that had an army, try and take over the world, or Chinese. Like Chinese, they like worry about their own country. I haven't, you don't see the Chinese. The Japanese were kind of like that in the beginning. They were like, well, we're gonna take over China, And but see, there's a reason for that. Like if you don't know anything about the history of Japan, for almost 200 years, Japan had a civil war, and it wasn't like a united country. It was like a bunch of fiefdoms, and they were all fighting each other for who was going to dominate, the country itself. And for almost 200 years, they had a war, civil war going on. So there was generations of people who were born into war and died, and war was still going on. Okay, so they were warriors. Like after a while, like that's what you do. It's like, what do? We fight. That's what we do. So one guy consolidated the country together, and once the country was together, he was like, what are we gonna do now? All these guys, all they know how to do is war and fight. And if I don't give them something to do, we're gonna have to start fighting each other again. So he was like, let's get China. And they started trying to go to get to China. They had to go through Korea. So they asked Korea, hey, can we go through Korea to get to China? And they were like, no. And then he was like, well, fuck you. We'll fight you then. And then he started fighting Korea. And the Chinese came down, helped them, drove back the Japanese. And that's why the Japanese, or the Koreans, the Chinese hate, well, I don't know if they hate anymore, but they really didn't like the Japanese for a long time because the Japanese did a lot of shitty things. There was a lot of grudge going on. But they didn't get very far in their world domination plan. That's why they joined with Hitler, because Hitler was like, oh, trying to take over the world. And they were like, yes, we'll help. It's like, but they weren't really leading it, were they? Not really. They were kind of in the back seat. Who's driving? The white people. It always comes back to us. Now, if you talk about this stuff and you say this stuff, then they'll say, well, you're a self-hating white person, and you hate, that you're white. Like, no, that's not true at all. I'm just honest. That's the problem with humanity, is we're not honest with each other. The whole world, society itself is built on a foundation of complete bullshit. If people started to actually tell the truth to each other, we'd have a better world, I believe. Now, there might be tough conversations, but we'd get to a better place than everybody lying and bullshitting each other all the time. Now, I don't know if you know this. Well, you do if you watch this show, because I was talking about it last time. But India and Pakistan are at war now. I mean, they haven't declared war on each other, but they're going to go to war, I think. These are two nuclear powers. They both have nuclear weapons. I believe this is the first time that two nuclear powers are going to go to war with each other. Now, I don't know what that means, but it can't be good. It's the same thing. Like I said the other day, you take an Indian and a Pakistani and you set them next to each other and you spin them around a few times like they do at the ball game and go, where's the fucking ball? And they spin it around. Just take two Indian and Pakistani, spin them around, turn them back around, and go, which one's which? If you can tell the difference, I'll give you fucking $1 million. You can tell which one's which. It's a 50-50 shot. You can take a guess, but you don't know, do you? They look the same. They look exactly the same. They're going to fight each other? Are you kidding me? That just proves to you, I said, how fucking stupid racism is. People hate each other. They look exactly the same. It's like... They both eat curry. They both, it's like they're both very similar. They got very similar food, very similar culture. They look the same. It's like, but they're gonna fight. They're gonna go to war. Over what? Some piece of land. It's like, it's ours. No, it's ours. Like, why? Right now it's 50-50. That's not enough. That piece is ours, and we're going to take it. You're like, really? It's like that Tool song. It's like, it's true. It's like, you kill each other over a piece of land, piece of dirt. And then kill each other for it. Why? What's it? I don't know what to, I mean, I guess it's got to be strategically important at some point. Or, I mean, for some reason, that they both think they need it. It's like Trump's obsession with Greenland. We needed Greenland. We need it. It's like, what do we need it for? Well, we need it. And I don't know why we need it, but we need it. You know, like I don't believe that's true. When you watch, I'm not kidding. You watch these. That's it. My mom turns on Fox News and shit. Like, now they just normalize that. Jesse Waters up yesterday talking about this called, what was it? What they call it? Manifest Destiny. Like, yeah, man, you know what Manifest Destiny did? It fucking genocided a whole people. It's like, that's how we made the country bigger. I mean, that's how we do it again. By any means necessary. And you're like, I thought they were the no war people. And then Trump was like, no, for no wars, you know. It's like, no, but you're going to start one. Well, I'm not for wars, but I am for taking this shit that ain't ours by any means necessary. Well, that's kind of warmongery, if you ask me. I mean, who am I? I'm just some, comedian on hiatus sitting in his basement. But if you ask me, that's kind of warmongery. I'm going to take shit from other people by force. And we want. They don't make you no different than Vladimir Putin. Which is true. But when you say that, they say, oh, you got derangement syndrome. Like, no, it's not derangement to call out things that are true. It's true. These are things that dictator says, or not the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, talk about taking shit from other people by any means necessary. He's like, well, that's not very free, is it? He just wants us to become another dirtbag fucking, aggressive dictatorship country that just bullies people around and tries to take shit. And I don't know if you know this. I've discussed this before as well, but we haven't done too well when you go to someone else's country, you might take it over. The land and the territory. But the people, it's not so easy to take over the people and to convince them that it's best for them to just lay down and accept whatever we say. No, you're going to get an insurgency and you're going to most likely lose. Because they can wait you out. They'll kill as many people as they can of our people until the public here goes, hey, man, this is just like Iraq or Afghanistan, You know when they went over there, that they were going to try to stay there as long as they could. And they did stay there for a while. Yeah. Julia says, Mark Carney tried to take him to task, telling him some properties are never for sale. Still, Orange Man tried not to acknowledge it. Yeah. He goes, never say never. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, never. Never. That's what I'm saying, is if he thinks he can go up to Canada and take it over, that's fine. We might be able to march into Canada and take over some land. But I said, them people, they're going to fight. They all got guns just like us. They're going to fight. You have an insurgency of angry Canadians, and they'll be blowing shit up randomly everywhere, like the Viet Cong or whatever. It'll be, Viet Canucks. Or it's like, you can't just, like I said, you can get the land, but you're not going to get the people. That's what's hilarious, is they want to kill ideas, but they don't have any ideas of their own. They don't have any. They want everything to be the way it used to be. And I got news for you. It ain't never going to be the way it used to be, especially now. It's going to be different. It ain't going to be different the way they want. We've lost. People here don't realize just how much the world just laughs at us now. We're just a fucking joke. And I I live here and I'm an American and I'm laughing too. It's a fucking joke. This is not a serious country anymore. But the problem is we have a huge military and a lot of nuclear weapons. And there's like 12-year-olds in control of it now. It's like, it's not a good recipe for, anything good. We still got 3.5 years of this shit. If they don't, I keep wondering. I mean, I've been wondering ever since Trump came on things, like, what does Trump have to do to lose people? And at this point, I don't think he can. These people are brainwashed, bro. Like, washed. Like Soviet-style brainwashing, where, like, they're going down with the ship. They'd walk into a fire if he told them to. He goes, this is for the greater good of the country. For the survival of the white race. I need you to walk into this burning building. And they'd be like, yes, sir. And while they're walking in, they'd be like, he's the greatest president ever. And they get burned up, That's how bad it is. These are Kool-Aid drinking cultists, full on. Because, like I said, if he ain't lost people, but at this point, he ain't going to lose. 30% of this country would walk off a cliff if he told him to do it. And they'd say, isn't he brilliant? This is the greatest idea. Like, jerk off Greg Gutfeld just now when my mom was watching Stupid Five. She watches it every day. He's like, oh, never going to say, hey, maybe Trump had a good idea with these tariffs. And you're like, hey, wait a minute. What is he talking about? Has this tariff plan came to fruition? I mean, has anything happened with the tariffs any good? I mean, I can't think of a good thing. The container ships are gone. The only reason that there's still things in the stores is because these companies and businesses have bought a bunch of shit and they got them in a warehouse. But it ain't going to be but a week or two, they're saying, that shit's going to start disappearing. Today at work, there was a list of things. It said, these things are going up in price because of tariffs. It said right on the thing. Because of tariffs. There's a thunder, so the feed's fucked up. That's why. It's a storm going on. But yeah, it's starting to come to reality now. That shit's going to get expensive. Today, the Wagyu beef, I don't know if it was because of a tariff, but the Wagyu beef at the store today was $50 a pound. $50 a pound. Now, I know goddamn good and well it wasn't $50 a pound. Now, it was expensive. And, Wagyu beef is nice. It's a Japanese, and if you know, it comes from Japan. But it wasn't $50 a pound. It's $50 a pound now. And who's going to buy that? Who can afford that? I mean, I'm sure there's people that can afford it, I guess, but not many. So what does that mean? That means that the store is going to bring in the beef like they always do. And when the people don't buy it, the store just lost however many pounds they brought in for $50. But they're going to lose money. Now, multiply that across the entire country. Yeah, and then they go, oh, this is a good idea. You ain't got no storm here. Yeah, because it already went past you. It's like, I'm farther east. Although I saw the radar was like a line, so it's possible that you didn't get anything and it went by you. But either way, it would have already passed you before it gets to me, because you're farther west. Anyway, like I said, this is going to happen. I was trying to buy supplies, right? Because that's part of my job is to buy the supplies for the store, right? And some stuff You put in that I buy all the time, put in the number now, and it says, oh, item not found. Search for the item not found. Well, it was just there last week. Was it? Oh, it's made in China. It's made in China, and now all of a sudden you can't get it. You know, that's one of the other things that's going to happen is all the supplies and things that businesses use, all the plastic things. Let's say plastic silverware. Let's use that as an example because that was the thing I was looking for. Little sample taster spoons that they use for sampling shit. Can't find them. Why? Made in China. Sooner or later, it's going to be the full-size stuff. And the other stuff, all made in China. It's going to be the meal kit containers that they put the meals in. You know, when you go to the deli and you order a meal, they have the plastic container made in China. Sooner or later, you're not going to be able to get it. Then what happens? I guess we just say, put your hands out. We'll put it in, cup your hands. We'll put this potato out in your hand. It's like, and then you listen to this man talk, and you go, this guy doesn't have a fucking clue about anything. He says, oh, since we're not importing anything now, we're not trading in the deficit, that means we're making money. It's like, really? No, because if you ain't got no shit to sell, you ain't making no money. He's like, oh, we're doing fine. Are we? All this stuff I said has been theoretical. Like, what's going to happen? Then you keep watching these shows, and they're saying, any day now, you know, now they're down there. It's going to be a week or two, and shit's going to start disappearing from the shelf. You ain't going to have none. What happens is, soon you're going to start going to Walmart. I said, or everybody loves to go to Walmart because it's cheap. You know, you go to Walmart, and there's going to be a bunch of fucking empty shelves. Nothing there. Why? Because more than half the shit they get comes from China. The port of Seattle ain't got no ships in it. So where's this shit coming from? You're going to turn around overnight. You're going to fire up a plastic fork factory. You know, like, and that's what everybody wants to do, right, in this country is work in a plastic fork factory. It's like, yes, that's what we want. Then bring it back to manufacturing. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of dumb shit. It's fucking dumb. And I don't see any way out of it. Because he ain't going to change his mind now. He's dug in. You know, he's like, this is going to work. And his people are dug in too now. I said, Gutfeld was like, you know, Benny had a good idea with these tariffs. It's like, is it a good idea, dude? He hasn't done anything but fuck up everything. And now he's saying it's a good idea. That's what I mean about the drinking the Kool-Aid. They're going down with the ship, bro. They're never going to say that they were wrong about this guy. Never. They're fully invested in it. Their careers, everything that they have is invested in sucking this guy's dick. Like, basically. Networks and networks of TV and the people on the internet, and that's it. Their only job is to stroke this dude. And that's their whole purpose in life. So they got to go down with the ship. They can't turn around tomorrow and go, well, maybe we were wrong. No. Because that means that all the shit that they've been telling you for the last however many years is bullshit and wrong. And they can't do it. That their whole brand is that. That's it. That's their existence. That's what they are. That's what they do. That's the problem, too, is journalism used to be like, let's find out what happened, tell the facts of what happened, and then judge people accordingly, right? But that ain't how it is anymore. Now it's like we gotta prop this guy up with whatever bullshit we can find and say, yes, this is what's happening. An immigrant killed somebody. Get that on the air. Like, say we're right. An immigrant killed somebody. And meanwhile, there's 100 other murders that just happened by American citizens, but no one talks about that anymore, do they? Because they only want to talk about the immigrant. The one immigrant that killed somebody. We didn't talk about that for 6 months. Why you... It's pure insanity. If you're an American criminal right now, you should be like, this is a free-for-all for you. Like, fuck, they're all fucking going after the immigrants and shit. The whole system is geared towards fucking with brown people and shit. If you're a white criminal, dude, it's game on. You're going to get away with all kinds of shit. Because they're not even looking for you. They're not even looking at you. They're all like, oh, there's somebody at the license branch trying to get a license. Let's get them, you know. Meanwhile, they're robbing the fuck out of your house. They're breaking into your cars, you know, in your neighborhoods. They're like, no one cares. Like, where's the police? They're helping ICE, you know. Because nobody thinks in grand scales. Nobody extrapolates out. What everybody now is like, the internet, pushes your little buttons and you go, you know, and everybody's focused on what is right in front of them. And they're not really thinking about the effects of all the things that they're doing and the long-term effects. That's why I said before, once you give up your freedom, once you give up your rights, you're not getting them back. And they're not coming back. It's like when they raise the prices on shit, right? They say, oh, we got to raise the prices on this stuff for now because there's a pandemic or whatever else, right? And what happens? The prices never really go back down, do they? When the pandemic was over, they never said, oh, we need to go back to the prices we had before. No. Because they're making more money, and they go, hey, we're making more money, and these people are willing to pay, so why would we lower the prices? Then that's when supply and demand comes in. Well, it's a demand, and we got the supply, and people are willing to pay this price. And it's like, freedom is the same way. Once you give away your rights, it's not like, oh, we're going to take away these rights for a couple years, and then you'll get them back. Like, no, you're not going to get them back. There's several things that need to happen right away when these fucking jerk-offs are out of power and the Democrats or whoever gets power again. There's lots of fucking problems that they need to solve right away. They need to write a bunch of laws immediately. They need to write a law or amend the Constitution that says some fucking felon piece of shit can't be the president ever. Ever. Period. They need to write laws about this crypto and say, hey, the president can't own a meme coin, which is basically just a slush fund for any foreign power that wants to buy him off. You know, like, no. Right now, that's what he's doing. And there's no laws against it. They used to, there was an understanding that you weren't supposed to profit from the presidency. Well, that's gone. He's selling hats in the fucking cabinet meeting. He's profiting from the presidency. The Trump family's wealth has gone up by $2 billion a month since he's been president. You think that's cool? Julia says, what gets me is just how blind and deaf they are to the fact that the majority of the country is vehemently against what they're doing. Can't see or hear us, even with the ongoing national protests. Well, I don't think they care. The only thing we got going on right now is there are Republicans in purple districts all over the country who could lose their seats to Democrats, and they're starting to realize that. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. You see, there's already people, they're not going to vote for this budget because they're like, hey, we're not going to blow up the $1 trillion, and the House was like, we're not going to vote for this ridiculous fucking bill that Mike Johnson put out to run up a $10 trillion fucking debt to give a tax break to fucking rich people, only for the Senate to take half of that out. And yet the House guy's now on record for having voted for it. Even if it doesn't pass the way they voted for it, they're on record voting for that, and they'll lose their seat, and they know it. So they're like, hey, we can't do this. We're not gonna vote for this, and they're just gonna change it, and we're gonna be fucked holding the bag. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what's gonna happen. They've already fucked so bad. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, every single Republican should be voted out of fucking Congress. If it was, I mean, if the world was a just place filled with intelligent, reasonable people, the Republican Party would, this next 2006, when they have the midterm congressional election, every Republican should be voted out. Everybody that went along with this shit and just nut licked Trump and, confirmed all these fucking unqualified pieces of shit to run the country and cause all these fucking problems, they should get voted out. Now, will they? I don't know. But, I mean, they're not. In a lot of places they won't, because there's a lot of places they're just Republican and they're going to vote Republican. But there's a lot of purple districts where it's 50-50, and it's like what happened in the first time Trump was president. He lost the Congress, big wave of Democrats got voted in. Hopefully that's what happens this time. Because that's the only way to stop this. The courts are holding the line, but they're just starting to ignore the court. So they got to take back the Congress. They got to get back to real oversight. And like I said, writing laws to stop him from doing the shit he's doing. This meme coin thing, he should be impeached and removed from office immediately for it. But he won't. Because, like I said, these guys, they're getting rich off of it too. It's a fucking mob. That's really what it is. There are these statistics. Like, the richer people are getting richer right now. Even though the economy is bad, they're getting richer, and regular people getting poorer. And small businesses are going to get fucking wiped out by this tariff thing, and they don't give a fuck, because that'll just let them move in and take over the fucking market. When they say they care about you, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't. There's an elite. They say, oh, the elites, they're the elites. They're the ones with the money. They call other people elites. What the fuck are you talking about? And people buy into it. People believe it. They go, oh, we're going to get the elites out there. Who are you going to put in there? Elites? It's like billionaires. Millionaires. Everybody in the cabinet's a millionaire and a billionaire. Chrissy Nome is going around with the fucking $50,000 watch on, fucking shipping migrants off to El Salvador. Like, really? You believe in these people? Maybe it's just because I'm poor. Or, I grew up poor. I wouldn't say I'm poor, but I'm definitely not rich, but I'm not poor. I'm not starving or anything. But even if I had a bunch of money, who the fuck pays $50,000 for a watch? It's wearing a $50,000 watch. That right there should tell you. It's like a nice car for somebody. Brand new car. Half of a house. In some places. Well, I guess it's hard to find a house for $100,000 now, probably. But you can somewhere, I guess. I'm just saying. It's a lot of money for the average person. This bitch is walking around with it on her wrist. It's like, they're like, these people care about us. Do they? They don't give two fucks about you. If you think that, you're fucking dumb. You're dumb as shit. I don't know. We got a new pope, though. At least, like I said, they didn't elect a Nazi pope. Guy already hates J.D. Vance, so I like him already. Now, they still have to deal with this kid fucking problem, which is unbelievable, too. The church is still operating, and it's still got a kid fucking problem. Really? That tells you just how dug in people are to the systems and the traditional way of doing things, and just how far away we are from actual evolution as a species. And now India and Pakistan are fighting. They might start blowing up nukes. Damn right. Julie says, I won't even own a vehicle. It costs more than my home. My home is cheap. Ain't no fucking way I buy a $50,000 watch. Right? Yeah, well, I got a lot of money. I saved a lot of money for a lot of years. Got a lot sitting around. I'm going to get me a watch. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I said, even if I was rich, you gave me $1 million. This man said, here's a watch. How much is it? Oh, it's a nice watch. That's pretty nice. It looks sharp. Yeah. How much is that? $50,000. Fuck you. You fuck off. It ain't even because I'm cheap. I'm not cheap. If I want something, I buy. My mom yell at me all the time. She's like, you act like you're rich. You just buy whatever you want. It's like, yeah. Life's too short to not. Where are you going to take this money with you when you fucking die? No. It's the purpose of money, to fucking enjoy yourself. Right? You have a limited amount of time on this earth. You can try to enjoy it. But you know what would make me enjoy it even more? A $50,000 watch. It's a fucking expensive watch, bro. And you go, well, at least something happens and I lose everything. I still got this $50,000 watch. You take it to the pawn shop. They go, we'll give you $5,000. Like, well, that was worth it. What an investment. It's unbelievable. Like I said, if you grew up watching Star Trek shit and you were like, yes, that's the world that I want to live in. You know, one day we're gonna get it together. It's not happening. The Star Trek thing is not happening. Yes. Julie says, if the watch can't do the dishes, wipe my ass and give me a blowjob. It ain't worth it. No shit. I wouldn't pay $50,000 for an actual piece of pussy. It's like, it better be good. 50 grand. That's why I hear sometimes talk about escort and shit. Escort. It's escort. Yeah? How much is he? $5,000 an hour. Who the fuck pays $5,000 to fucking get a piece of pussy? Like, man, that's a lot of money. It's like, seems like if you had $50,000, you can just go down to a bar somewhere and just like flash the $50,000 and some girl will fuck you. Like, it's like hoping that she might think you're rich or something. You can keep your $50,000 and still get laid. You really ain't got no personality at all. If you're like, I gotta pay $5,000 to get laid. It's like, how about you work on your personality, bro? Like, you know. Like, no, I ain't no Casanova or nothing, but, you know, I've talked my way into some pussy, you know, a couple times. It's like, it didn't cost me $5,000. It's unbelievable. We're way, way, way far away from the Star Trek dream. It's not gonna happen. Matter of fact, we backslid. That's what it shows you even more, just how impactful Star Trek really was. It was like he was really trying to push the boundaries of, hey, look, prejudice is stupid, racism is dumb, and they actually had a episode where the people were white and black, and the one people were white and black on one side, and then the other people was on the other side, and they were trying to kill each other because the black and white didn't match up. And that's how absurd it is. He was trying to point this out in the 1960s. He had Kirk kissed Uhura is the first interracial kiss on TV. Oh my God! People are like, ah! Meanwhile, black and white people been fucking, black and white people been fucking for 100 years before that. But you ain't gonna show it on TV, goddammit. It's the same as gay people on TV or whatever, Well, the gay people can exist, but they can't be represented in any way in any movies, or like it might spread around like a disease. The idea that you might watch a show with a gay person in it, and then you might go, I never thought about fucking another, dude, but man, that show's really funny, and all of a sudden now, I think I'm gonna do it. It's like, no. People were being gay before there was even a TV to be to influence them. Where did it come from then? That's what I'm saying. It's the dumbest. Conservatism is the dumbest thing ever. All conservatism is resistance to change. I've said this many times, and I'm going to keep saying it because that's what it is. They don't want anything to change. They want everything to stay the same. And if you change it, and then they're going to fight to bring it back the way it was. And when and once things change, they ain't never going back. And that's the point of what I'm talking about now. How far are you going to let them push? How far are you going to let them change? Look how much they've changed the fundamental fabric of what we are in just 100 days. This is not the same country it was in January. You don't believe me? Did you know how lame Cinco de Mayo was this year, huh? Not a lot of Cinco de Mayo going on this year, huh? Why is that? They canceled the parade in Chicago, the annual Cinco de Mayo parade. Canceled. Why? Because people were afraid. You want to gather all up so ICE could just come and round them up, all at one time, so no one came out. So the parties are off. No parties. Now, I haven't looked it up, but I'll tell you just from what I know. We bought 50 cases of Corona to sell for Cinco de Mayo. You know how many I got? About 50. Well, maybe 45 because I've been selling it, regularly. I've been moving it from the display to the cooler where people buy a 6-pack at a time. That's just people who are buying Coronas. But no one bought the 50 cases for Cinco de Mayo because why? Because they ain't no one partying in the fucking shithole Nazi fucking country that they can't even have a party and not have to be afraid that somebody's going to come and round them up and ship them off to fucking El Salvador. And that's just the way it is. And like I said, this is 100 days in. It's going to be hard to bring this back to what we were before. Especially if for God forbid, that J.D. Vance or somebody fucking succeeds Trump, it'll get even worse. The Republican Party ain't coming back. I hope you know that. They're not coming back. They're not going to turn back into your dad's Republican Party. No, they're not. They're full Nazified. And once you're fully Nazified, you ain't coming back. The only way to get rid of it is to get rid of it. Vote them all out and say you're not getting voted back in unless you fucking put your head back on straight and fucking, get the fucking Nazis under control. But it's not going to happen. Because the internet has turned the whole world into a left and right. The whole world is now a two-party system, pretty much. Even though the countries, if you look at the countries that have more than one party, it doesn't matter. That's what happened in France. They had to all gather together to keep Macron in power, to keep the Le Pen Nazis from taking over France, right? So what happens is those other parties get watered down. They get absorbed into the other party. And now everybody is left or right. The world is going to become a giant struggle between you want leftist countries or you want right-wing countries. And that's what's going to happen all over the world because the internet, like I said, has congealed everything together. And Steve Bannon, I said, went around the world and tried to turn these right-wing populist Nazis into a world movement. So far, they've been beaten back in the other countries, but they succeeded here. And if you look at the countries that do have them, like Hungary and shit, there's people out in the street. Turkey, there's people out in the street. Like, it's not a good situation. And that's what's going to be. The whole world is going to be left and right struggle. That's the new ideological struggle. It's unbelievable that you have to be like, liberal democracy itself is in danger. All over the world. Because these right-wingers want to control everything. And lock down all the borders. And I don't know what they want to do with immigrants. I guess they're just going to start shuffling them from country to country. They wanted to send them to Libya. Judge stopped them. They were about to send a plane load of people to Libya. Yeah, exactly. Julia says all the ones who want to go back should stop using internet technology, stop watching TV, stop listening to music, and they need to install outhouses, etc. Yes, become Amish. You know where I got all these problems? Amish. It's like because they ain't brainwashed on the internet. It's all right. They went to him and brainwashed him in person. That's why Pennsylvania lost, because they talked to the Amish people and go and vote for Trump. It's unbelievable. But that's where we're headed. The world itself. I mean, I probably ain't going to be around, but that's going to wind up being World War III will be that. Left versus right. Left countries versus the right countries, because the right countries, they're going to try and take over the other countries. Because right-wingers can't stand for other people. So you have right-wing countries next to a left-wing country that go, we need to go over there and get there before their left-wing ideas come over here. That's what I mean. The human race is fucked. It's fucked. We come to like this stalemate where it's like you want authoritarians or you want liberal democracy. And these things are going to butt heads and fight. That's if Pakistan and India don't start blowing up nukes. That's what I was going to say. Or then we fall out blowing all over the world. It's going to be great. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Last Saturday, Daniele was doing something with his daughter. So hopefully he'll be here Saturday. I hope so. But if not, I'll be here anyway. So Saturday night at 6 o'clock, I'll be here like I am every 6 o'clock, every 3 days. So please join me then. And if you're a Catholic, congratulations. You got a pope. He may not be the pope you want, but he's the pope you got. So fucking deal with it. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I love you guys. Wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here still. And thank you. I'll be back Saturday, 6 o'clock. I am Bruce Leonard, and this is Bruce Leonard Leans Left while it's still legal. Enjoy. Be safe out there. Thank you. See you Saturday.